All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another day in Mr. Frost online math class. Today, we're going to be going over Chapter 11 practice test. So make sure to follow along as we do this. And then on today's last slide, input how many questions you got wrong, and I'll use that to create your grade for this assignment. As far as the test goes, most likely that test is going to be on Tuesday of next week. So we'll do a lesson on Monday and test most likely on Tuesday. That's my thought process for right now. I'll update you if anything changes on that front. So let's just go ahead and start. We'll start with number 1. And then let's switch back over to the black ink. Okay, number 1 was 7x greater than or equal to negative 63. All right, remember we always read from the variable. So we are trying to solve for this inequality. So first, divide by 7, divide by 7. X is greater than or equal to negative 9. So that's the solution. Then you have to graph it. The graph is what I'm interested in. On your graph, always show me 0. Actually, let's make it like that. I need to see 0, and I need to see the solution. All right. This has a dash underneath of it. Because it has a dash underneath the inequality, it's a closed dot. X is greater than or equal to negative 9. Numbers that are greater than negative 9 are to the right of negative 9 on the number line. So that's how you do it. And again, I'm just interested in the graph. So that's the only thing you need to have on your document, and would be the same thing in terms of when we have our test. I just need to see the actual graph. Number 2, negative 12x is greater than negative 72. So I divide by negative 12, divide by negative 12. Now, hopefully y'all remember, if I divide by negative, my inequality sign changes direction. So now x is less than or equal to negative 72 divided by negative 12, positive 6. Again, what I'm interested in is the graph. Always show me 0, show me the solution. Open dot, because there is no dash underneath the inequality sign. X is less than 6. Numbers that are less than 6 are to the left on the number line. So there's your solution for number 2. Number 3 here, x divided by negative 3 is less than 7. X is being divided by negative 3. We do the opposite operation, times negative 3 times negative 3. These guys cross out. X, we divide it or multiply it by a negative. Whenever that happens, you flip the direction of your inequality sign. X is now greater than negative 21. Again, always show 0. Always show me the solution, negative 21. There is no dash underneath the inequality sign, so it's an open dot. X is greater than negative 21. Numbers that are greater than negative 21 are to the right on the number line. All right, number 4. X divided by 8 less than or equal to 4. Again, we're dividing by 8, so we do the opposite. Times 8 times 8. Goes away, goes away. X is less than or equal to 32. Graph it. There's 0. There's 32. It does have a dash, so it's a closed dot. X is less than or equal to 32. Numbers that are less than 32 are to the left on the number line. Number 5 now. Negative 3 plus 4x is greater than negative 13. All right, so now we have a two-step equation. Move the number without the variable first by performing the opposite operation. So this is a negative 3. Only way to get rid of a negative 3, add 3, add 3. Now, excuse my messy writing. This is a negative 13 on the far right. So it's 4x is greater than negative 13 plus, hold on here. I'm sorry, I wrote the equation down wrong. That should have been a positive 3. My fault. Over here on the left side, it's positive 3, negative 13, so it should have been minus 3, minus 3, okay? These guys still cancel. I just wrote the problem down wrong. 4x is greater than negative 13 minus 3. Keep, switch, change. So negative 13 plus negative 3 gives me negative 16. Signs are the same. When signs are the same, keep and add it. Okay, divide by 4, divide by 4. Now, some of you would be tempted to switch the direction of the inequality sign though. However, you did not multiply or divide by a negative. You divide it into a negative. So the direction of the inequality sign still stays the same. X is greater than negative 4. Show me 0, show me the solution. Open dot, because there is no dash. X is greater than negative 4. Numbers that are greater than negative 4 are over there to the right on the number line. Number 6 now. This one is negative 3. Negative 3x plus 4 is less than or equal to 31. All right. Start on the side of the variable, move the number without the variable by performing opposite operation. That's a positive 4. Only way to move it, subtract it. Goes away, goes away. Bring down the negative 3x, less than or equal to 31 minus 4, that should be 27. Divide now by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Stop. When you divide by a negative, you flip the direction of your inequality sign. So x is now greater than or equal to negative 9. When I go to graph that, there's 0, there's negative 9. Make sure you put your negative numbers on the correct side of 0, by the way. There's a dash, so it's a closed dot. X is greater than or equal to negative 9. So we graph to the right on the number line, because those numbers over here are greater than negative 9. All right, number 7 now. Two x plus 5 is greater than 11 minus x. Okay, it's the same premise, guys. You just have variables on both sides now. I like to keep my variable positive, so I move this one on the right, x plus x. Now, it's not written, but it's understood that a variable always has a coefficient of 1. 2x plus x, 3x plus 5 is greater than 11. You'll know to move the 5 first. It's the number without the variable. Minus 5, minus 5. 3x is greater than 6. And now it's just a simple one-step equation. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X is greater than 2. When you go to graph, I'm interested in 0 and the solution. Make sure you put your positive numbers on the correct side of 0. X is greater than 2. There is no dash, so it's an open circle. Open circles when there's no dash. X is greater than 2, so numbers that are greater than 2 are to the right on the number line. All right, moving onwards to number 8, I believe now. Yes, number 8. And it is 3 times x plus 6 is less than negative 126. All right, we have a 3 outside the parentheses. We have to first distribute that 3. So distributive property here, multiply the 3 to what's inside. So that becomes 3x plus 18 is less than negative 126. To solve, you always start on the side of the variable. That means move the number without the variable first. So minus 18, minus 18. So 3x is less than negative 126 minus 18. Keep, switch, change. So negative 126 plus negative 18. You add those together, and that gives me negative 144. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Notice I said divide by 3, okay? Some of you will be tempted to change the direction of the inequality sign. However, you are not multiplying or dividing by a negative. Rather, you're dividing into a negative, and it goes in negative 48 times. Don't make that mistake, all right? Don't change it unless you multiply by a negative or divide by a negative. Always show me 0. Always show me the solution. Make sure you have the correct type of dot, no dash, so it's open. X is less than negative 144, than negative 48. So we're graphing to the left because the numbers to the left of negative 48 are smaller than negative 48. And that's what we're looking for as a possible solution to X. All right, flipping the page now to number 9. There it is. And here we go. Number 9, negative 3 times x minus 1 is greater than 18. Let's see here. We do multiply outside to what's inside. So distribute negative 3, distribute it. So that becomes negative 3x plus 3, because a negative 3 times a negative 1 becomes a positive 3, is greater than 18. All right, start on the side of the variable, move the number without the variable by doing an opposite operation. So negative 3x is greater than 18 minus 3, that gives me 15. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Stop, I'm dividing by a negative. Flip the direction of the inequality sign, gives me negative 5. Here's my graph, there's 0, there's negative 5. There is no dash, so it's an open circle. X is less than negative 5. The numbers are less than negative 5 are to the left on the number line. All right, we are now going to number 10, and this marks the halfway point of the review, and most likely, therefore, the video. All right, x plus 1 is less than 2 times 2x plus 3. All right, first we have to distribute. Distribute what's outside parentheses to what's inside parentheses. So I'll just rewrite this. X plus 1 is less than 2 times 2x, 4x, 2 times 3 plus 6. All right, now combine variables. I'm looking at this x right here. That's a positive x. Therefore, the only way to move that x is to subtract it. So I'm going to do minus x minus x. All right, that goes away. 1 is now less than 4x minus x. Remember, every variable has a coefficient of 1. Therefore, that's 3x plus 6. All right, now it's a two-step equation. Start on the side with the variable. That means we always move the number without the variable by doing the opposite, okay? So these guys go away. 1 minus 6, smaller number, trying to subtract a larger number. Negative 5 is less than 3x. Divide by 3, divide by 3. It is possible, guys, to have a fraction. You could leave it as negative 5 over 3, or if you want to, you could have made it negative 1 2/3. And then stop right here. Do not read negative 1 2/3 is less than x. You always read from the variable. So the proper way to read this is x is greater than negative 1 2/3. If you don't like how it's written like this, you can flip it around and you could make it x is greater than negative 1 2/3. Or you could write it as x is greater than negative 5/3. all of those are correct, okay? Not required for you to flip it. I just know some of you like it when the variable's on the left side more. Anyhow, when I go to graph this, always show me the solution. Always show 0, -5/3. There's no dash. Since there's no dash, it's an open dot. X is greater than -5/3. Numbers that are greater than -5/3 are to the right on the number line. Okay, that appears to be all of the solving of inequalities that we have. So that would be the first half of the material that you need to know. The second half of the material that you need to know for the test is going to be solving equations by substitution and elimination, the two things that we just learned. So here is number 11, okay? All right, number 11, it's set up as a substitution, as you can read from the directions. Y equals -11x plus 5, and y also equals 10x minus 37. All you have to do, guys, is take what you know y is and substitute it in. So for instance, take this right here, that's what y is, and plug it in for y. So rewrite it as 10x minus 37 equals -11x plus 5. Then all you do, combine like terms and solve. So I would move the -11x first, because I can move it by adding, and therefore the variable stays positive. All right, 10x plus 11x, 21x minus 37 equals 5. Start on the side of the variable, move the number without by performing the opposite operation, meaning add 37, add 37. Goes away, goes away. 21x equals 42. Divide by 21, divide by 21. You now know that x equals 2. That's what x is. You have to take that and plug it back into one of your original equations. I'm going to choose the bottom equation of y equals 10x minus 37. Now that you know what x is, take that and plug it in for x. Y equals 10 times 2 minus 37. So y equals 20 minus 37. 20, a smaller number, subtracting a larger number, therefore is going to give me -17. So my final answer, remember, it's always xy. X was 2, y was -17. All right, moving on to number 11. Number 11, oh, that was number 11. We're on number 12 now. Number 12. There we go. Sorry about that. Number 12, we have y equals 5x plus 7, and y equals -3x plus 7. Again, take what you know y is and substitute it in for y, just like that. So -3x plus 7 equals 5x plus 7. All right, I like my variable to remain positive, so I'm going to move the -3x by adding 3x to both sides of the equation. Goes away, goes away. I'm left with 7 equals 8x plus 7. All right, start on the side of the variable, move the number without the variable by doing the opposite operation. On the right side of the equation, we were adding 7, so to move it, we subtract 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. 0 equals 8x. Therefore, when I divide by 8, 0 divided by 8 is 0, so 0 equals x. All right, it is possible to get the answer of 0. You're not incorrect if that's what you got. So 0 is the correct answer. Take that and plug it back into your original equation, one of them. I'm choosing y equals 5x plus 7. When I substitute the solution of 0 in for x, I get y equals 5 times 0 plus 7. 5 times 0, y equals 0 plus 7. Therefore, that's a 0, not a 6. y equals 7. Your answer is always in an x, y ordered pair. So my answer for x was 0 and for y was 7. So 0, 7 for your final solution, number 12. All right, flipping the page, we're on number 13 now. And here we go. Number 13, it's x equals y plus 9 and x plus 4y equals 24. Now in this case, I told you what x equals. X equals y plus 9. Plug it in, 4x, why don't you? So now what you have is y plus 9 plus 4y equals 24. This allows me to combine like terms. Let me make sure I connect that. There we go. That's y plus 9. All right, like terms are going to be same variables, okay? So we have 1 right there and 1 right there. So let's combine those. Y has a coefficient of 1, not written, but it's understood. So y plus 4y, 5y plus 9 equals 24. Now this allows me to solve for y. So minus 9 minus 9. 5y equals 24 minus 9, which gives me 15, I believe. Yes, that's correct. Therefore, when I solve for y, by dividing by 5 and dividing by 5, y therefore equals 3. Now that you know the solution for y, take that and plug it into one of your equations. I'm choosing the very first one. Of x equals y plus 9, therefore x equals 3 plus 9, and therefore x equals 12. Your final answer is always in an ordered pair of x, y, so your final answer is going to be 12, 3. 12, 3, final answer, number 13. All right, on to number 14 now. That's the red I like. 14. 14 is x plus y equals 20. And x equals y minus 4. Since we know what x equals, we substitute the solution of x in for itself. We know x equals y minus 4. So substitute in for x in the first variable, or the first equation rather. Y minus 4 plus y equals 20. All I did is I take this and I put it right there, guys. All right, combine your y variables. I have 1 here, 1 here. Both of them have an unwritten coefficient of 1, so that becomes 2y minus 4 equals 20, plus 4, plus 4, those go away, 2y equals 24, therefore I divide by 2, y equals 12. Once you know what y is, take the solution of y and plug it into one of your original equations. I'm choosing the second equation. X equals y minus 4. Therefore, x equals 12 minus 4. Therefore, x equals 8. Order pairs are always written as xy. Therefore, our answer is 8, 12. Final answer, number 14, sorry, I'm 1 off. All right, number 15 now. It's y equals 3x minus 1 and y equals x plus y. So this is more aligned with the first type of problems we're doing. I know what y is, so just take the solution for y and plug it in to the variable of y in either one of your equations. I'm going to rewrite mine as 3x minus 1 equals x plus 1. All right, I like my variable to remain positive, so minus x minus x. Those go away. 2x minus 1 equals 1. Solve for the equation by moving the number without the variable by performing the opposite operation. 2x therefore equals 2. Divide now by 2. Divide by 2. X equals 1. That's my solution for x. Now that I know my solution for x, take that and plug it into either one of my original equations. Again, I'm choosing the second equation. It looks easier. Y equals x plus 1. So y equals, substitute my solution for x in for x, 1 plus 1, which means y equals 2. Final answer is always in xy format. Therefore, x equals 1 and y equals 2. 1, 2. All right, moving right along. We're in the last fourth of this review. We're on number 16 now. Now we're in solving equations by elimination method, okay? So a little practice on that. We have 5x minus y equals 8 and negative 5x plus 4y equals negative 17. You're always looking for the same coefficient, opposite sign of one of your variables. Luckily for us, they're already set up that way. So I'm adding these equations together. By doing so, these guys are eliminated, which leaves me with just one variable, which is what I want. I only want to solve for y. Negative y plus 4y gives me 3y. 8 plus negative 17 gives me negative 9. Oops, and I forgot my equal sign. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Negative 9 divided by 3, y equals negative 3. That's my solution for y. I have to take that and plug it in for one of my original equations. I'm going to choose the second equation of negative 5x plus 4y equals negative 17. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Negative 5x plus 4 times, I'm substituting my solution for y, negative 3 equals negative 17. So negative 5x minus 12. It's minus because 4 times negative 3, negative 12 equals negative 17. All right, move the number without by doing the opposite. So plus 12 plus 12. These guys go away. Negative 5x equals negative 17 plus 12 is negative 5. Divide by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. I have a negative divided by a negative. 2 negatives, even amount of negatives makes a positive answer. So x equals positive 1. Remember, I always write as an x, y ordered pair. Y was negative 3. So my order pair is 1, negative 3 for number 16. All right, number 17 now. 17 is going to be x plus 2y equals 13. And it appears negative x plus 2y equals 7. So I'm having a hard time reading if I'm sorry. It looks like I'm looking at my worksheet here and my answer key, and it looks like I gave this to you as x. Oops. Yeah. I gave this to you as x minus 2y equals negative 7. I believe that's correct. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my key here. So in this case, if I were doing this and adding these problems, I would get rid of positive 2y minus 2y. So x plus x be 2x equals 13 plus negative 7. That's going to give me 6. Sorry, I was blanking. All right, divide by 2, divide by 2. Therefore, x equals 3. Good. That's the answer I had on my key, so I've done it right so far. All right, now that you know what x is, you can take that solution and plug it into one of your original equations. I'm choosing the first one of x plus 2y equals 13. So substitute your solution for x in for x. That's going to be 3 plus 2y equals 13. All right, we're going to do minus 3, minus 3. Only way to move a positive 3 is subtract it. 2y therefore equals 10. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Y therefore equals 5. All right, order pairs are always, our final answer is always an order pair, XY format. Therefore, my final answer for X, my answer was 3. And for Y, it was 5. So final answer, 3, 5. All right, on to number 18. 18. Let me try to write this one down correctly on the first try. Alright, looks like it should be 5x plus 6y equals 4. There we go. And underneath, 7x plus 6y equals 8. Now, seeing as how my y variable already has the same coefficient, all you need to do is change the sign of one of them, which means you need to multiply the entire equation by -1. I'll just go ahead and multiply the bottom equation by that because I have more room there. So when I do that, I get -7x minus 6y equals -8. And this one just goes away. I'll just scratch it out like that. All right, you're adding these equations together. 5x plus -7x gives me -2x. 6y plus -6y goes away. 4 plus -8 equals -4. Take the sign of the larger integer. That's why it's negative. Divide by -2, divide by -2. Whenever I have a negative divided by a negative, I get a positive answer because I have 2 negatives and an even amount of negatives, therefore positive answer. So x is 2. Take that and plug it into one of your original equations. I'm going to choose my first equation. 5x plus 6y equals 4. So 5x plus 6y equals 4. Take the solution for x, plug it in there. So 5 times 2 plus 6y equals 4. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 6y equals 4, minus 10, minus 10. Goes away, goes away. 6y equals 4 minus 10, -6. Divide by 6, divide by 6. Now I only have one negative. One is odd, and odd amount of negatives gives me negative answers. So there's my solution for y. I always write my final answer as an order pair in XY format. And for this case, x was 2 and y was -1. 2, -1 for number 18. All right. Now we're really getting close. Just 2 more problems left in this video, guys. We'll scroll up, and here comes number 19. All right, number 19 is, let me make sure I write this down correctly. Oops, I'm in red. Sorry. We want to go back to black. All right. 7x minus 2y equals 5. And down below is 7x minus 3y equals 4. All right, same thing. My x variable has the same coefficient, so all I need to do is change the signs of one of my x terms. I'm going to multiply by -1. Watch what happens when I do that, okay? I'm going to change here, here, and here. I just multiplied every single term by -1, which means all I have to do is change the sign. So now that that's changed, goes away, 2y plus -3y gives me -y. -5 plus +4 gives me -1. This is a -y, guys. What's really written in front of it is a 1. So I have to divide by -1, divide by -1, 2 negatives, y equals +1. Once I know what y is, go back and plug it into one of your original equations. I'll choose the top one again. 7x plus, nope, sorry. 7x minus 2y equals 5. Substitute 1 in for y. 7x minus 2 times 1 equals 5. 7x minus 2 equals 5 plus 2 plus 2. 7x equals 7. Divide by 7, divide by 7. X therefore equals 1. All right, let's see here. Answer is always written as an x-y ordered pair. X was 1 and y was 1 as well. So 1, 1 for number 19. And I don't know why, but the writing seems to be lagging behind what I'm saying. So sorry if that's the case. All right, last problem, number 20. And this time I remembered to switch back, but it didn't switch. There we go. All right, number 20, we have -7x minus 8y equals 9, and -4x plus 9y equals -22. All right, so this is going to be kind of like number like 22 of your homework. In this case, neither one of your variables matches up, so you don't have to multiply both equations. Looking at my y variable, I have positive in the bottom and negative up top, so I'm just going to multiply the top equation by +9 and the bottom equation by +8. When I do this, I'll get -72 right here, and I'll get +72 right there. And that will allow me to cancel out the y variable. So I'm going to rewrite the first equation down here. 9 times -7x is going to give me -63x minus 72y equals 9 times 9, 81. For the bottom equation, I'll have 8 times -4x, -32. Let me give myself a little space here. It'll be -32x plus 72y equals 8 times 22. I'm going to cheat real quick. 8 times 22, 176. -176. All right, now we're adding these two equations together. -63 plus -32, that's 5, 9. -95x goes away, equals 176 and 81. all right, equals negative 95, all right? Subtract, take the sign of the larger integer. So divide by negative 95, divide by negative 95. Goes away. X equals positive 1. It's positive 1 because you have a negative divided by a negative. Once you know what x is, take that and plug it back into one of your original equations. I'm going to choose the top one, negative 7x minus 8y equals 9. So substitute in 1, there's 1 right there, minus 8y equals 9. So negative 7 minus 8y equals 9. Plus 7 now, plus 7. Negative 8y, you take the sign that's in front, bring that sign straight down, equals 16. Divide by negative 8, divide by negative 8, y equals negative 2. So, last problem, always written as xy. So for x, you had 1, and for y, you had negative 2. So there's your final answer right there, 1, negative 2. All right, once more. These are all the answers for the Chapter 11 practice test. I want you to take these answers, grade your assignment, and I'll collect the grade from you from your answer. On Monday, most likely we'll have a new lesson. On Tuesday of next week, most likely we will have a test over this review sheet. And to answer your question, if there's anything else on the test, no. If it's not on this review sheet or practice test, it will not be on the test. So this is the only material you need to know for that test. As always, I hope